You do it every night, card goes up. Apple, ball, dog. Your child looks away or just stares at you like you've said nothing at all. So you try more cards, more sessions, more repetition. And at some point, a small, uncomfortable thought creeps in. Am I doing this wrong? Is there something going on with them? Nobody tells you what's actually happening. Flashcards don't just fall short, they push against the exact way a child's brain picks up language. Once you get the real picture, what researchers kept finding over decades of work, you end up with something that genuinely doubles how fast vocabulary builds. No product, no program, no schedule. Just a different way of understanding what's going on inside your child's head. Here's the part that catches most parents off guard. You've already been doing pieces of this every single day without realizing it. This holds from birth through age 5, but the stretch with the most at stake, where the process runs hottest and the payoff is biggest, is 18 months to 3 years. Scientists call it the vocabulary explosion. Keep reading. 1. Your child's brain isn't storing words, it's guessing at them. The single most important finding in language research isn't about how much you talk, it's about how words actually get learned. Not by being told what they mean, by guessing. The moment your child hears a new word, the brain doesn't wait for a definition. It starts making a fast, probabilistic guess. Cognitive scientists call it fast mapping, based entirely on what's happening around the word. The look on your face, what you were both just looking at, what happened a second before. The word doesn't get attached to a meaning, it gets attached to a moment. Susan Carey at Harvard found that 2-year-olds could lock in the basic meaning of a word from a single natural exposure. One time, in context, while something real was going on. One exposure, that's the whole thing. Flashcards gut the context completely. They hand the brain a picture on a rectangle and ask it to do something it fundamentally wasn't built for, memorize a symbol with nothing around it. No situation, no feeling, no living reference point. Teaching a kid to swim by showing them photos of water. 2. Repetition doesn't make words stick, emotion does. Researchers at the University of British Columbia were looking at word learning in infants when they found something they hadn't expected. It wasn't how many times a child heard a word that predicted whether it stayed. It was the emotional charge in the moment the word arrived. When a new word lands inside an experience that carries real feeling, excitement, surprise, delight, even a small fright, the brain treats that differently. Neurochemicals tag the memory for priority. The word doesn't just get filed, it gets kept. That's why hot said once near a stove sticks forever. And rhombus drilled 40 times on a flashcard is gone by Tuesday morning. One word came wrapped in something real, the other didn't. Every time you narrate what your child is genuinely lit up about, a beetle they spotted, a truck going by, the way water does that thing when they slap it, you're feeding the exact brain conditions that make language permanent. Not playing, doing the most advanced vocabulary work developmental science has documented. You just didn't have a name for it. 3. The actual mechanism, serve and return. In 2018, Rachel Romeo's team at MIT published something in Psychological Science that shifted how language researchers thought about the whole question. They didn't just track word exposure, earlier work had already shown that mattered. What they measured was back and forth, conversational turns. Your child makes a noise, you respond. They point, you name it. They babble something at you, you treat it like a sentence and answer back. They hand you an object, you say what it is. Those exchanges, not word volume, predicted vocabulary growth, language speed, and verbal ability more reliably than anything else. Not talking at them, talking with them. Brain scans backed it up. Kids with more back-and-forth turns had stronger activity in Broca's area, the part of the brain that handles language output. Not just more words stored, better language machinery overall. This is serve and return, and it doesn't need a session or a schedule. It already exists inside ordinary parts of your day. When your child points at something, name it, add one word, then go quiet. Wait. Whatever they do next, a sound, a look back, a syllable, respond to that like it means something, because it does. You just ran a conversational turn that, by current evidence, does more for vocabulary than any flashcard routine you could build. Hey, if this is already changing how you think about those everyday moments, hit like and subscribe. What comes next is the part most parents find hardest to believe. 4. What you say matters less than when you say it. Michael Tomasolo spent years at the Max Planck Institute tracking exactly how words get transferred from adult to child. What his data kept returning to was deceptively basic. Joint attention, both of you looking at the same thing at the same time and both knowing it. Words introduced while a child is already focused on the thing they describe land far better than words introduced first, before the child is oriented. In plain terms, your child is already watching the dog. You say dog, it lands. You follow their pointing finger and speak to exactly what it's aimed at, lands even better. You hold up a flashcard of a dog while their mind is somewhere else, barely registers. Timing beats content. Follow the attention. When your child fixes on something new, that's the cue. When they're absorbed, name what they're in. Their attention isn't something to redirect toward a lesson. It is the lesson. The brain opened the file. You just need the word to arrive while the file is still open. 5. What to actually do starting today. No new materials, no carved out sessions, no extra time. What changes is what you notice and when you open your mouth. 3 things. First, narrate inside the feeling. When your child lights up at something, name it right then with a voice that matches their energy. Don't turn it into instruction. Stay inside the moment with them. The feeling isn't background. The feeling is what makes the word stay. Second, leave a gap after you name something. Don't rush to fill it. Whatever your child does with that silence, a sound, a reach, a half word, treat it as a real response. Answer it. That exchange is what Romeo's team watched build language architecture in the brain. Third, drop the lesson plan. Your child's brain has already picked its learning target. It's whatever they're staring at or reaching toward right now. Your job is just to show up in that moment with language, not redirect. Not introduce the word you had in mind. The word that sticks is always the word attached to something they already cared about. Parents who do these 3 things, no formal training, no awareness of the research, send kids to school with vocabularies 2 to 3 times larger than children who had more instruction but less of this kind of exchange. 2 to 3 times, not from programs, from being present. What nobody actually tells you about your child's vocabulary. Every word your child will ever own started as a moment. Something real, something they saw or touched or felt standing next to you. Flashcards give them symbols, moments give them language. The gap between a child who struggles with words and one who has plenty of them isn't intelligence. It isn't the right app or the right curriculum. It's how many times someone tracked their gaze, named what was there, and waited long enough to hear them try to say something back. You've been in those moments every day. You just didn't know they were the whole thing. They are. Put the flashcards down, pick up the moment. Your child's brain already knows what to do from there. Subscribe to Baby Care World. We'll be here every week.